Hello everyone, welcome to Anirudh Prakhya YouTube channel. You can see on the screen I have an Excel workbook open. Today I am going to discuss beta in function using this Excel workbook. I am going to click on the formulas tab in the ribbon. I am going to click on insert function. Here I am going to type beta in, click go. Now we are able to select the function beta in, which is beta inverse. Let's go through the short description given here. This function is available for compatibility with Excel 2007 and earlier. This returns the inverse of the cumulative beta probability density function beta dist. There are few arguments, about 5 arguments, which we need to input so this function beta inv can calculate. These are argument probability, argument alpha, argument beta, argument A and argument B. Let us now understand the syntax and description of this function and how to input the arguments and what are the common types of errors we may encounter when using this function or when computing some output with this function. So I am going to click on the help on this function link that you can see here. Now this will open a new tab or a new window and we will be able to go through the syntax and description of beta in function. You can see that this new tab is now connecting because Excel is taking some time to open this help section. Alright, beta in function returns the inverse of the cumulative beta probability density function for a specified beta distribution. That is, if probability equal to beta dist bracket open x comma and so on, which are the different arguments, then beta in bracket open probability comma so on would be equal to x, because this returns the inverse of the beta dist function. The beta distribution can be used in project planning to model probable completion times given an expected completion time and variability. One important note, this function has been replaced with one or more new functions that may provide improved accuracy and whose names better reflect their usage. Although this function is still available for backward compatibility, you should consider using the new functions from now on because this function may not be available in future versions of Excel. For more information about the new function, see beta.inv function. You can find the descriptions of this new function as well in my Excel videos on my YouTube channel, which is Anirudh Prakhya YouTube channel. And for those who are using the older versions of Excel, you can listen to this video about beta inv function. Let us now go through the syntax of this function. Beta in, which is the beta inverse. Arguments are probability alpha, beta, A, B. Let us now understand about each of these arguments in detail. Argument probability, which is a required argument for the function to compute properly, is a probability associated with the beta distribution. Argument alpha, which is another required argument. So we have to give an input for the arguments that are required so the function can compute properly. Argument alpha is a parameter of the distribution. Argument beta, which is another required input for the function to compute, is also a parameter of the distribution. There are two more arguments, argument A and B, both of which are optional arguments. So even if we do not input the values for these arguments, Excel will still be able to compute and give a result for these functions. So argument A, which is a lower bound to the interval of x, and argument B, which is an upper bound to the interval of x, are optional arguments. Let us now go through the remarks and understand what do we do if we encounter any type of an error when using this function. If an argument is non-numeric, beta in returns the hashtag value error value, which means if we encounter this error hashtag value when we press enter after inputting the values, then we have to revisit the arguments that we have entered and make sure that all the arguments are numeric. There should not be any non-numeric argument. Also, if alpha is less than or equal to 0 or beta is less than or equal to 0, then beta in function returns the hashtag num error value. So we have to make sure that the arguments alpha and beta are greater than 0. You will not encounter any error. If probability is less than or equal to 0 or probability greater than 1, beta in returns the hashtag num error value. So this is also another type of issue that we'll face, but the error that we'll see would still be the same, hashtag num error value. So we have to make sure that the probability is between 0 to 1. So the argument probability that we give as an input should always have values between 0, which is greater than 0, and less than or equal to 1. If you omit values for A and B, which are the optional arguments, beta in uses the standard cumulative beta distribution so that A equal to 0 and B equal to 1. So even if we do not give any inputs, the Excel would use these values A equal to 0 and B equal to 1 and give us an output by computing the function. Given a value for probability, beta in seeks that value x such that beta dist bracket open x comma alpha comma beta comma a comma b bracket close equal to probability, which means we are able to compute the inverse of beta dist function. Thus precision of beta in depends on precision of beta dist function. So this value that we'll see will only be as precise as the precision of the beta dist function. Let us now solve an example by being a little hands-on Excel. So before we start using this function on this data, we have to copy this data and paste it into an Excel workbook. So I'm going to copy the entries by clicking and holding the left cursor and dragging the mouse. So to copy the values for these two columns, data and description. Now I'm going to type Ctrl plus C on my keyboard. So I have copied the entries from this help window. I'm going to click on the Excel window, cancel the insert function, right click on cell A1, and now I'm going to paste the values that I have copied. So you can see that I have already clicked here, and Excel is going to take some time to paste these values from that help window. You can see Excel is right now not responding, but let me give it a little more time so it can paste the values. Once we get the entries, we'll be able to work with that example. Okay, unfortunately Excel could not do that now. Let me try again. By clicking on the help window, I'm going to select this columns data and description, type Ctrl plus C. I'm going to click on Excel help window. Here I'm going to now type Ctrl V instead of right clicking and pasting. Ctrl V is also a shortcut to paste the values. So I'm going to wait for Excel to now paste these values, and if we are able to get the results, I'll adjust the formatting afterwards. So Excel has done that. Now you can see a small you can see a top type of a drop down here for paste options. So I'm going to click on this drop down, click on match destination formatting. Now Excel will format these two columns according to the format in the every other column of Excel. So the formatting will be adjusted. I'm going to give Excel a little more time, and there Excel has done this. Now I'm going to save this Excel workbook by clicking on the save button here. Alright, the first two columns A1 and B1 I have selected. Now I'm going to click on home and click on bold to bold these two headings. Now I have to copy three more columns and then compute. So I'm going to click on the help window, copy these three headings, formula, description and result, by typing Ctrl plus C on my keyboard. I'm going to return by clicking on the Excel help window, and on cell A7 I'm going to type Ctrl plus V, which is a keyboard shortcut to paste the values. So I'm copying three more headings, and I'm going to give Excel some more time to copy these headings and give a response. So Excel has copied. Again I'm going to click on this little drop down here and select match destination formatting by left clicking on it. And now Excel is also going to format these three headings. So once we are able to format this, we'll use the function. We'll have to type in the function and give the arguments. So now I'm going to bold these headings for row 7, columns A, B and C. and in cell A8 in the formula bar I'm going to type equal to beta inv. You can see that I'm using a future version of Excel, and hence I was able to see many different functions here: beta.dist, beta.inv, beta.dist, beta.inv, etc. If you are using an older version of Excel, you may not be able to see all of these functions. So you have to type this function which you are referring to, which is beta.inv. Alright. Now I'm going to open the bracket, and to give entries for all of these arguments, I'm not going to type any values, and instead I'm going to reference to the cells which contain these values. So for the argument probability, I'm going to refer to cell A2, type comma. For the argument alpha, I'm going to select cell A3, type comma. For the argument beta, I'm going to select cell A4, type comma. The argument A, which is an optional argument, still I'm going to select cell A5, type comma, and argument B, which is another optional argument, but for this example I'm going to select cell A6 and close the bracket, and now I'm going to type enter. So we are able to see a result which we got from the computation, which is 2. Let us now quickly verify this result with the help window. So I'm going to click on the Excel help window, and here you can see that the result which is given in this example is also 2. Hence we were able to compute correctly using the beta in formula in our Excel workbook. Okay, now I'm also going to copy this description from here. I'm going to select the description, type Ctrl+C, copy the description, click on the Excel workbook, and in the cell B8 in the formula bar I'm going to type by Ctrl+V to paste this description and type enter. Let us now go through the description. The formula that we used using the arguments for the cells from A2 to A6 are the inverse of the cumulative beta probability density function for those parameters. Alright, because we are using beta in function, this is an inverse of the beta dist function. Now the result that we got in cell A8, I'm going to copy by typing Ctrl+C, and I'm going to click on cell C8, and I'm also going to right click to paste the values. So paste special and paste values. Now I have pasted the result, and I'm going to click on cell A8, and in the formula bar I'm going to add an apostrophe to make sure that we only see the formula and not the entire result, and type enter. Now I'm going to select this little Excel cell here and double click on an Excel column to format all the columns within Excel, and I'm going to save this Excel workbook. Now you can see that we have computed using the beta in function in an Excel workbook by referencing to different cells which contain the required arguments. If you like today's class, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Anirudh Prakya's YouTube channel. Please share this video and also click the like button on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.